The second thing that helps us to love Jesus more is the knowledge of how much He has already forgiven us. Luke chapter 7 and verse 47. The one who is forgiven little loves little. The one who is forgiven much loves much. It's a law. Luke 7:47. The one who is forgiven little loves little. You know, the Lord said there was a creditor who a certain moneylender had owned. He gave 500 denarii to one person and 50 to another. He forgave both of them. Who will love him more? And the Pharisee said, definitely the one who was forgiven more. He said, that's right. And he says in that connection, the one who is forgiven more loves more. I mean, if somebody forgave you a debt of $10 million and somebody forgave you a debt of $2, there's a bit of a difference there. Sure. And that's the picture here. The one he's forgiven me so much. The one who's forgiven more, Jesus said, will automatically love more. Now, let me ask you something. Do you really believe you've been forgiven little? I mean, God kept me from so many sins in my life, but the closer I've come to God, I'm amazed at how much He forgave me. Because I see little things which I never even realized were sin before. And I can see how Paul, towards the end of his life, said, I am the chief of sinners. I mean, if he said, I was once upon a time the chief of sinners, we can understand that. But how does he say at the age of 65 in 1 Timothy 1:15, I am the chief of all the sinners? It was not a grammatical mistake. It's absolutely true. And I never understood it fully till the closer I've come to the Lord, I've come to see that there's a thing called unconscious sin. See, most of us are aware of conscious sin. Bitterness, complaining, grumbling, murmuring, anger, telling lies, lusting with our eyes, and cheating, and all that type of stuff. That's 10% of sin. There's another 90% within us called unconscious sin. You know, selfishness and little bits of pride and seeking our own and a lot of things which we don't even take so seriously. And then there are what we call the sins of omission. The things that we did not do, which we don't even call a sin. When was the last time you confessed a sin of omission? I'm pretty sure that it was probably many years ago. Committing sin, we confess readily. Oh, I'm sorry, I did that, I didn't do that. But when was the last time you confessed a sin saying, I didn't do that? You know the story of the Good Samaritan? There was this man beaten up on the road and a priest and a Levite went by. What was their sin? Did they kick him? Did they spit on him? No. Their sin was they did nothing. Can you commit a sin by doing nothing? That was exactly the sin of the priest and the Levite. They walked by that man, they did nothing. That's what I mean by sins of omission. So when we get closer to God, we see a massive, huge list of sins of omission. For example, the Bible says, encourage one another daily. One of the biggest sins of omission. Do you encourage your wife? Do you encourage your husband? I know you didn't slap him or slap her, that's okay. But did you encourage him? One is a sin of commission, the other is a sin of omission.